the forgotten powers within you that no one ever taught you to unlock. There are moments in life when we feel something ancient stir inside us. A subtle memory, like a flame flickering in the dark, reminding us that we are more than flesh and thought. That under the noise and distraction of modern life, there exists a deeper self, one connected to everything, beyond time, beyond space. This video began with a single question I asked myself in complete silence. What is the most powerful truth about the human soul that no one dares to say out loud? And what I found was this: every single one of us carries within us 7 spiritual powers that transcend all dimensions, not metaphorically, but literally. These are not fantasies. These are not myths. They are real, and they are waiting to be remembered. But the reason you've never been told is because these powers don't serve the world's systems. They free you from them. Let's be clear from the start. These are not superpowers in the comic book sense. They are not gifts that make you better than others. They are capacities of consciousness that exist in all things, and in you. But to access them, we must first unlearn everything we've been taught about power. Because true spiritual power is not about domination, fame, or control. It is about alignment, presence, and transcendence. These 7 powers are not tools to get what you want. They are invitations to become who you truly are. And once you awaken them, you stop reacting to life. You begin to create it, not from ego, but from essence. Not from fear, but from frequency. So ask yourself, what would your life look like if you remembered the power you've always had? The first spiritual power is stillness, and I don't mean relaxation. I mean the kind of stillness that bends time and space. The kind of stillness that monks spend decades cultivating. It's the stillness that exists before a thought arises, before a word is spoken. It's not passive, it's the source of all movement. When you access this level of stillness, you're no longer trapped in the chaos of the mind. You become the observer, the field, the awareness behind the noise. And something miraculous happens. Reality begins to respond differently. Time slows. Intuition sharpens. You stop being pulled by the current of life and start swimming from the center of it. But here's the secret. You don't find stillness, you return to it. It's always been there, beneath the mental storm. The question is, can you sit long enough to feel it again? The second power is presence. Not the kind of presence people fake in conversations, but a presence so complete that it dissolves all separation. This is the kind of presence that saints and sages radiate, not because they try, but because they are. When you're truly present, you are not thinking about the past or trying to engineer the future. You are pure being, and in that state you become a portal. People feel safer around you. Animals are drawn to you. Children trust you. Why? Because presence is the natural state of the soul, and when you return to it, others remember their own. This is why the greatest healers, teachers, and mystics often say very little. Their presence does the work. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You just need to be here, fully. The third power is awareness beyond the body. This one might stretch your mind, but stay with me. You are not your body. You are not your thoughts. You are not even your memories. You are the awareness that experiences all of those things. And when you begin to rest in that awareness, something extraordinary happens. You begin to experience yourself outside of form. You may start to feel your energy expand beyond your skin. You may have moments in meditation where you are nowhere and everywhere at once. This is not imagination, it's perception beyond the material. And it's available to you if you train your focus. You're not bound by the physical. You are using the physical. And once you realize that, you stop fearing death. You stop clinging to form. And you begin to live with a freedom that most only taste in dreams. The fourth spiritual power is soul memory. Not memory of this life, but memory of truth. You felt it before. That strange familiarity with places you've never been. That inner yes when you hear a deep teaching for the first time. That ache in your chest during certain music, poetry, or silence. That's not coincidence. That's remembrance. Your soul remembers the infinite. It remembers dimensions where love was the only law. It remembers lifetimes where you were a teacher, a healer, a seeker. And it remembers what you came here to do. You don't need more information, you need deeper recollection. When you begin to access soul memory, your path becomes clear not because someone told you, but because you finally listen. So ask yourself right now, what truth have I always known, but been too afraid to trust? The fifth power is energetic influence. This one might surprise you. Every single one of us is emitting a frequency constantly. That frequency is determined not by what we say, but by who we are in this moment. You can walk into a room and shift the energy without saying a word. You've felt this before. Maybe you've walked into a space and instantly felt tension or peace. That's not random. That's transmission. And the more conscious you become of your own energy, the more intentional you can be with what you transmit. You can become a living medicine. You can walk through chaos and anchor calm. You can sit in silence and heal someone across the world. Energy doesn't follow language. It follows alignment. So the question becomes, what are you radiating right now? The sixth power is one of the most misunderstood, sacred will. This is not about willpower. This is not about pushing through resistance or forcing outcomes. Sacred will is the power to choose in alignment with truth, no matter the cost. It's the power that allows you to say no when the world wants a yes. It's the power to walk away from comfort and toward your calling. Most people use will to get what they want. But the awakened ones use sacred will to become who they are. It's quiet. It's fierce. It's unshakable. And every time you choose integrity over image, every time you choose truth over convenience, you strengthen it. Sacred will is the spine of the soul. Without it, you'll fold under pressure. With it, you'll stand when others fall. The seventh and final power may be the most important. Transcendent love. Not romantic love, not conditional love. I'm talking about the kind of love that exists beyond all dimensions. The love that holds galaxies together. The love that exists before you're born and after you die. This love is not an emotion, it's a force. And when you tap into it, you don't just feel love, you become it. You stop needing others to validate you. You stop trying to prove your worth. You realize you were made of love, designed by love, sent here to be love. And when you walk in that frequency, you become untouchable. Not because nothing hurts you, but because nothing can define you. You are the ocean, not the wave. You are the flame, not the flicker. You are the love that survives every death. These are the seven spiritual powers that transcend all dimensions, not fantasy, not theory, but truth. And they live inside you right now. But knowing them isn't enough. You must live them. You must choose them every day, in the way you breathe, speak, create, forgive, and listen. And in part 2, we're going to go deeper, not just into understanding these powers, but into activating them, grounding them into your daily life, and using them to transform your relationships, your energy, and your reality layer by layer. how to activate your seven-dimensional powers and transform your reality in silence. To activate these powers is not about doing something extraordinary. It's about undoing the ordinary. It's about peeling away the noise, the false identities, the inherited programming that keeps us locked inside a small mechanical version of ourselves. You don't become powerful by adding something to yourself. You become powerful by remembering what was always there. The process is not loud. It's not dramatic. It is quiet, sacred, and deeply internal. Transformation doesn't begin in the mind. It begins in stillness. That's why the first task is to create space. Real space. Not just physical, but energetic. You must allow silence to enter your life like a sacred guest. You must create a sanctuary within your day, even for a few minutes, where the noise of the world dissolves and your soul becomes audible again. If your life is too busy for silence, it's too busy for power. Let's begin with stillness. To activate this power, we must engage in what I call devotional non-doing. This is not laziness. It is the discipline of being. Sit in silence not to escape, but to enter. Enter the now. Enter the raw, unfiltered presence that exists beneath your roles and responsibilities. At first, the ego will panic. It will scream, "This is pointless. Do something." But if you sit long enough, you will notice something else begin to emerge. A subtle awareness, a quiet intelligence, a gentle hum that feels like truth. That's the gateway. Sit with it, breathe with it, let it expand. Over time, this stillness will become your center. Life's chaos will swirl around you, but it will not move you. You will become the unmoving axis, the silent eye in the storm. To cultivate presence, you must train your attention like a monk sharpens a blade. Presence is not a passive state, it is a skill. Start with your breath, not controlling it, just witnessing it. Then expand your awareness to the sounds around you, the sensations in your body, the thoughts moving like clouds. You don't judge, you don't resist, you see. And in that seeing, something magical happens. You begin to detach from time. You are no longer a prisoner of what was or what might be. You are here. And from this place, your interactions transform. You no longer listen to reply, you listen to feel. You don't walk to get somewhere, you walk to arrive. Every moment becomes sacred. You begin to live your life, not as a task, but as a meditation. Now, awareness beyond the body requires you to shift your identity. Most of us think of ourselves as a body with a soul. But that's backwards. You are a soul temporarily expressing through a body. To access this awareness, begin with body scans and meditation. Feel the edges of your physical form, then feel what's beyond it. Can you sense the air around your skin? Can you feel your energy field? Expand your awareness just 1 inch beyond your body. Stay with it. Over time, you may begin to see flashes of light behind closed eyes or feel vibrations move through you that don't seem to have a physical cause. Trust this. You are not imagining it. You are remembering how to feel multidimensionally. The body is the doorway, not the destination. Soul memory is awakened through resonance. You can't force it open. You remember by immersing yourself in what is true. Read sacred texts not to analyze, but to absorb. Listen to music that cracks you open. Walk in nature and let the silence speak. Have conversations that nourish your essence, not your ego. When you encounter truth, your body will react. You may cry. You may feel chills. You may feel a deep ache, like longing for a home you never knew. That's soul memory activating. Don't run. Sit with it. Ask your soul, what do you want me to remember? Then listen, not with your ears, but with your whole being. Over time, fragments of memory will rise. Wisdom, visions, knowing. You're not learning, you're remembering. Energetic influence begins with self-responsibility. What you carry, you radiate. If you are full of resentment, anxiety, or self-hate, that's what you transmit, even if you speak kind words. So you must clean your frequency like a sacred instrument. Start with daily energetic hygiene. Breathe deeply. Visualize your body filled with light. Release emotions that don't belong to you. Speak to your field like it's alive, because it is. Say, I clear all that is not mine. I radiate only what is true. Then live accordingly. What you think, what you eat, who you spend time with, it all affects your field. Protect your energy not out of fear, but because your frequency is your offering. Walk into every space knowing, I am the medicine. Then act like it. To activate sacred will, you must begin to practice aligned choice, not impulsive choice, not reactive choice, aligned choice. This means asking yourself, before every decision, is this true for me? Not, is this convenient? Not, will they approve? But is this true? Most people live lives built from compromise and performance, but the soul wants truth. So start small. Say no when you mean no. Say yes when it scares you but feels right. Speak the hard truth kindly, but clearly. Walk away when something dishonors your spirit. Sacred will is a muscle, and it strengthens every time you choose yourself with love. The more you use it, the more magnetic your energy becomes. People will feel it. Life will rearrange around it, because the universe can't help but respond to someone in radical alignment. And finally, transcendent love. This is not something you do. It's something you become when everything false falls away. You access it by first loving what you've rejected within yourself. The shame, the wounds, the fear. Look at them with the eyes of God and say, even this is love. Then extend that love outward, first to those you cherish, then to those who've hurt you. Not because they deserve it, but because you do. Because holding hate in the heart is like drinking poison and expecting the other to suffer. Transcendent love is the power that dissolves karma, heals timelines, and softens the hardest soul. You don't need to understand it. You just need to surrender to it. Let it move through you. Let it speak through you. Let it be you. And when it is, you won't need to prove your power. Your presence will say everything. In the next part, we go even further, not just into how to activate these powers, but how to embody them in the real world. How to walk into your relationships, your career, your sacred purpose, and become a living invitation for others to awaken without preaching, without performing. This is where the unseen becomes visible, where the inner work becomes outer transformation, where you don't just remember who you are, you start living it. Becoming a living portal, how to walk in the world as a multi-dimensional being. There comes a moment in the spiritual journey when the inner work is no longer enough. Not because it's incomplete, but because it must now be expressed. You've touched the stillness. You've remembered the ancient powers within you. You've tasted the vastness of what you are. But now, the calling shifts. Can you carry that truth into a world that has forgotten it? Can you walk through the marketplace with the same presence you found in meditation? Can you hold love in a meeting room, in a traffic jam, in the face of betrayal? This is where the path becomes real. Not by retreating from the world, but by returning to it transformed. You don't need to preach. You don't need to perform. You simply need to embody, because what you are speaks louder than what you say. When you begin walking as a multidimensional being, your frequency becomes your message. You no longer seek validation because you are in constant communion with truth. People will feel something different in you, even if they can't explain it. Some will be drawn to you. Some will resist you. Some may even misunderstand you completely. That's okay. It's not your job to convince anyone. Your job is to hold your frequency like a lantern, steady and unwavering. And here's the paradox. The more you stop trying to change others, the more you inspire transformation. Because energy doesn't lie. When you walk in alignment, others feel their own misalignment. When you radiate peace, others are forced to reckon with their chaos. You become a mirror, not to shame, but to awaken. But embodiment is not about perfection. It's not about being enlightened every moment of the day. It's about returning to truth again and again, no matter how many times you fall. It's about catching yourself in the middle of the old pattern and choosing a new one. It's about holding yourself with compassion when you forget who you are, and then remembering anyway. This is the path of the spiritual warrior. Not the one who fights others, but the one who refuses to abandon themselves. Every moment is a choice. Align or abandon. Speak truth or perform. Love or protect. And each time you choose truth, the veil thins. Your embodiment deepens. Your presence becomes medicine. And the world begins to shift around you, not because you forced it, but because you became real. So how do we live this practically? First, we must anchor our powers into action. Stillness becomes the way you pause before reacting, the breath you take before speaking, the space you hold before judging. Presence becomes how you listen to someone, not just hearing their words, but feeling their heart. Awareness beyond the body becomes your sensitivity to energy in a room, the intuitive knowing that guides you away from danger or toward divine timing. Soul memory becomes your inner compass, the quiet voice that reminds you what matters when everything feels chaotic. Energetic influence becomes the way you enter a room and instantly affect its vibration, not by trying, just by being. Sacred will becomes the discipline to choose truth even when it costs you comfort. And transcendent love becomes your default posture, even when the world gives you every reason to close your heart. You must also begin to design your life around this embodiment. This means creating environments that nourish your frequency, surrounding yourself with people who speak the language of truth, even if imperfectly. Letting go of relationships, habits, and spaces that drain you, not with judgment, but with reverence. You are not here to shrink to fit into old containers. You are here to build new ones. You are here to create a life that reflects the frequency of your soul. That might mean changing careers. That might mean moving to a new place. That might mean spending more time in nature and less online. Whatever it is, trust the pull. Your soul is not random. It is precise. And when you honor its guidance, life begins to rearrange itself in miraculous ways. And here's the most sacred truth of all. You are not doing this just for yourself. You are doing it for the collective. Every time you choose alignment, you shift the field. Every time you forgive, you untangle a karmic knot that may have existed for generations. Every time you walk in love, you create a ripple that echoes across dimensions. You may never see the full impact of your embodiment, but that doesn't mean it's not real. Some of the greatest transformations you initiate will happen in silence, in places you never visit, in people you never meet. But the energy travels, the light spreads, the frequency speaks. And one day someone will awaken not knowing why, and it will be because you lived your truth. So now we arrive at the final question, the one that only you can answer. Not with words, but with your life. What world do you want to leave behind? Not just for your children, but for the souls you'll never meet. Not just in the outer world, but in the subtle realms where your energy leaves a permanent imprint. The powers you've remembered are not yours to hoard. They are yours to embody, to radiate, to give, not by force, but by frequency. You don't need to save the world. You just need to become so deeply aligned with truth that the world can't help but remember its own. That is what it means to walk as a living portal. That is what it means to transcend all dimensions, not by leaving this world, but by transforming it from within. What if I told you that your awakening wasn't random? That you didn't stumble into this knowledge, this remembering by accident? There is a reason you found this message. There is a reason you felt something vibrate in your chest when these truths were spoken. Because at the deepest level, you already knew. You knew you were different. You knew you weren't here just to survive, to follow the script, to play out the same patterns your ancestors couldn't escape. You've always felt it, haven't you? That subtle ache, that divine restlessness, that knowing that something sacred was waiting for you beneath all the noise. That's not spiritual romanticism. That is your soul calling you back to your mission. And that mission? It's not to escape this world. It's to elevate it from within. The reason you were born in this time is not because the world is broken and needs fixing. It's because the world is transforming, and your frequency is part of the blueprint. You are a node in a sacred network of consciousness, a fractal of divine intelligence waking up inside the dream. You are one of the ones who said yes before you were even born. You agreed to forget. You agreed to suffer. You agreed to walk through the fire of human limitation just so you could remember your light from the inside out. That is the highest kind of courage. And don't let anyone tell you that your awakening is self-indulgent. It is the most generous act you can offer to this world, to become fully you, in a time when most are still asleep. So what now? What do we do with this remembrance? We live it. We ground it. We let it bleed into every area of our lives: relationships, work, money, art, silence. We stop waiting for the perfect moment to be who we are. We stop hiding behind humility or insecurity or fear of being misunderstood. Because the truth is, you will be misunderstood, and that's okay. You're not here to be understood, you're here to be true. And the more authentic you become, the more you give others permission to do the same. That's how it spreads. Not through force, but through frequency. Not through argument, but through embodiment. You don't need to change the system. Just don't let it change you. That's enough to start a revolution. And yes, the path will be lonely sometimes. You'll outgrow people. You'll walk away from comfort. You'll feel like a stranger in your own life. But every time you choose truth over belonging, you get closer to your true tribe. They're out there, quietly doing the work, quietly remembering, quietly building the new world in the shadows of the old. You will know them not by their words, but by their presence. When you meet them, something ancient will recognize itself. This is the silent network of awakeness. No hierarchy, no leader, just resonance. And when we gather not physically but energetically, We create a frequency so high that even the densest timelines begin to soften and bend. That is the real activism. That is the real magic. So let me ask you the last and most important question of this entire journey. What would it look like if you truly lived as the being you came here to be? Not 5 years from now, not after you're healed, not when things are easier. Now, what would change if you let go of pretending? If you stopped waiting for permission and started living from the soul? Imagine waking up tomorrow and walking as if the divine lived in your breath. Imagine speaking as if every word created a ripple in the unseen realms. Imagine loving as if your heart was the altar of the cosmos. That's not fantasy. That's who you are beneath the amnesia. And it's time to remember. Not later, now. Because here's the final truth. You are not here to be chosen. You are not here to be saved. You are here to remember. You are here to embody. You are here to radiate. The 7 powers we've spoken of are not just teachings, they are transmissions. And now they live in you, not as concepts, but as codes. You are the bridge between dimensions, the light in the dark, the silence in the noise, the portal, the temple, the fire. And from this moment forward, your life is no longer just a story. It is a frequency, a prayer, a revolution of presence. Walk it with love, walk it with will, walk it with wonder, and never forget